Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Two Guys, One Crypt. Unfortunately, Chuck couldn't make it this week, so Uncle Ron is going to go ahead and sit in for him with us. So how's it
I don't
going,
know what
Ron?
you're talking about. My name's Chuck Nasty.
Oh man, I like the whole mocking Chuck thing. Well, I guess it's not really mocking Chuck as much as it is a impression, right?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
brother? You know what, brother? I'm a big fan of being in Kentucky, and I'm in
you
Bastard
sound
Sons
like
of a
fucking
Judas
Hulk
Ghost.
Hogan more than Chuck,
Brother,
Hey, brother.
brother.
Oh man, dude. So anyway, Ron, how's it going, dude? Anything new happening on your neck of the woods?
A couple of things this Friday. Not today, like a week from today. A new show, which is part of Tales from the Podcast Productions and Ronco Productions, because I'm totally original and I'm vain and I have to have my name in fucking everything, is going to be premiering on YouTube. It's called Uncle Ron's Drive-In. It's going to be me reviewing movies. And this, may I say the first movie? May I say what the first movie is?
Yeah.
Butchers, with featuring Simon Phillips.
Very, very, very cool, man.
And I have thoughts. But I'm also going to do big major releases. I'm trying my damnedest to, if I have to hitchhike or crawl, I'm going to get to see the Forever Purge, because that's my shit.
I don't want it to end up this way, but if it does end up with you crawling, I really hope somebody fucking videotapes that shit.
I will. I'll be like, what's up? And then what else is going on? Oh, and then also you can pick up my latest movie, Who's Gonna Watch You Die, for $5. Don't let the title fool you. It's not exactly what it sounds like. It's not like Pieces. And it comes with commentary for $5 and all that kind of stuff. So
awesome, man.
And should we post the link?
Yeah, go ahead. Post the link up there.
I'll post the link.
And while you do that, let's go ahead and catch up on these comments. We only got a couple here. We got Vic joining in. Hello, biatch. Hey, Vic. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, you son of a bitch. I'm still not gonna wish you Happy Father's Day.
And my little sister is watching. Hey, Joanna, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. And he's asking, have you seen the Purge TV
I've
show?
seen the first episode, but I haven't seen. I need to catch up. But now with work being what it is, I'll be able to catch up on what is it? Hulu or Peacock? I think it's on Peacock.
I haven't watched it. I'll be honest, I haven't seen it, but. Anyways, we have a pretty fun episode for everybody today. Our guest has been on Tales from the Podcast quite a few times now, having a consistent run of episode 6s, and that's going to spoil it for everybody. They already know who he is now. That and I've promoted it for a week, so
and that was for Vic. That wasn't for our guest.
Right. So, anyways, let's go ahead introduce our guest this week, Mr. Michael Ravenshadow.
Bombaleo, guys. I'm excited and aroused to be back on once again.
Keep your dick in your pants, bud. Keep your dick in your pants.
Well, there's only one way to prove he's that aroused. No, I'm joking.
The real question is can he lift Thor's hammer with it?
I'm not that worthy, sir.
No.
I'm
I can make it wiggle a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
I'm serviceable. I'm efficient.
So, anyways, man, how's it going, Mr. Ravenshadow?
Oh man, no, it's been I've been dying on the inside lately, so that's pretty good. But aside from that, things are very positive. But no, we're getting through. Apparently, the pandemic is over. Right?
Kind of.
Yeah, probably not. Wear a mask.
I'm full of microchips, so as far as I'm concerned, it's over.
So yeah, no, it's exciting. We're looking to see what happens next, but no, I'm excited. I'm a bummer. I'm bummed out that Chuck's not here, but I'm very excited. So I wanted to hear about his new dog. I heard that on the show recently, but I'm excited to meet Ron for the first time.
Hello, sir. And here's Chuck's dog. This is all you need to know. Woof. There you go.
It does do that.
It does. It goes woof.
Oh man, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I said yes.
Yeah. So how's everything going with you over there at Trick or Treat Radio?
It's doing very well. Yeah, I think we're getting closer and closer to our 9 years of Trick or Treat Radio, which is a horror podcast I've been with. with my brothers Johnny Wolfenstein, Monster Zero, and Ares God of War. One of our most recent episodes, one of our co-hosts, Monster Zero, just turned 50, which was insane. So we had a lot of close friends from over 20 years to friends we've made during the podcast, directors, and just folks who we met along the way. So it was a great, like the old fashioned, roasts back in the day. Not as much Comedy Central, but think, Sinatra era. But we had a blast. Great voicemails, great participation, and we had a lot of fun roasting the dude.
Sinatra era. So does that mean there was a lot of overt racism and drinking and smoking?
Well, definitely the smoking, but yeah, it was a different time. It was a different time.
There was a lot of drinking racism.
Get odd with MZ around.
It's true. Yes. He did eat some kind of weird Reaper hot pepper jelly bean that he bought. He spent like $50 worth of jelly beans at some fucking store, and ate all the hot ones, and he almost died on air for a second time. That's a different story. Man.
I've actually been avoiding doing these.
Christ.
But
here, I'm going to eat something crazy, a white chocolate peanut butter cup in honor of the Bucks winning tonight. So yay, go sports ball.
So we ended up doing a horror trivia contest recently, and as part of the punishment, we did the death notch, and I never got to packet number 4 or packet number 5, which is 16 million Scoville units. So
like Skull Bandit, the tobacco.
Maybe. I don't know. No. It's just tobacco. No, I'm joking. It's really fucking hot shit, though. I'll tell you right now. By just hitting like the round 3, it was like, whoa, this is fucking hot as shit.
And the questions were not easy.
Yeah, this guy over here hosted it. It was pretty fucked up.
Nice.
I ended up winning barely. Chuck came in second, and
name redactor was a little bitch and took off.
Yeah, he missed one question and quit. He couldn't make it past the first one. Oh,
he didn't know who played Rosemary's husband in Rosemary's Baby.
He didn't know a lot of questions, to be fair.
I think they say who played Rosemary's Baby, and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure.
That was me.
It's probably a baby. Right. Going back though to what you mentioned earlier with your one of your latest episodes and everything, where MZ turned 50. I personally had a chance to go and listen to that episode, and funny enough, one of the people who called in directed our movie for tonight.
That was weird.
So it's like, what a coincidence, and a nice way to go ahead and bring it back into what we're doing for tonight. So I guess I'll go ahead and mention it. So this week, our lovely guest here, Mr. Michael Ravenshadow, went ahead and chose a movie for us to watch, and is 2014's Kurando Mitsutake film, Gunwoman.
And for the record, I had to watch this at work because I had to catch up. And if I didn't,
why don't you tell everybody how far away work is?
Work is I roll over. So if I didn't work from home, I wouldn't have been caught up.
No. And
because there's no way I could watch that at work. No way.
If you haven't seen this, it is free on Tubi, and I strongly suggest everybody go and actually check this one out. I guess we'll get to our thoughts a little bit later on it, that's for sure. But
with that run, if you watched it at work proper, if you were like in the office, I was going to say, how was your last day at work?
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. And I came back from lunch, and there was just a box on my desk. No note, just implied. Time to get going. And there was a security guard, just tapping his watch. Like, hurry the fuck up. You got to go. That was way too many tits for the first 10 minutes. But, I can't believe, I don't think there's so much as too many tits.
Yeah.
That is fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
So, anyways, before we go ahead and start actually going into this movie, I'm going to catch us back up onto the comments real quick. So, let's see. Ron, you went ahead and shared that.
I did.
Let's see. I believe this is Colin. We can get Ron a GoPro and document his crawl to the movie.
It's a long.
I 100% think that's not a horrible idea.
It's a long crawl because the theater is roughly 15 to 20 minutes from my house. So
how big of a memory card can we put inside of a GoPro, and would it be able to record the entire thing?
I doubt it, the whole thing. If it's a 15, 20-minute drive and I walk slow as it is because I'm essentially Frankenstein's monster, yeah, it would be an even longer crawl. Where look, if the movie's at 11:30, I'd have to leave at 6 p.m. the night before.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. I'm not even gonna lie. Let's see, we got your Kevin in here. Hello. Hey Kevin, how's it going? And we got Ziggy. Hey Ziggy. And yes, when you did come in, it was at an interesting time, but thank you so much for coming in here. We got
Was it an interesting time, or
Pero.
was she just quoting Fight Club?
She might have been quoting Fight Club, but I don't know. Maybe we'll have to ask her later.
Marla, you met me at a very odd time.
I'm assuming this is one of Ravenshadow's friends. Just subscribe to Tales from the Podcast channel. What's up, guys? Special what's up to my boy Michael, or my boy Ravenshadow from your homie Double D.
Oh, the Dominican Devastator is in the house. Represent.
Oh man. So I know a little bit about this because I obviously listen to Trick or Treat Radio more than probably most of the people on here. But why don't you go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about Double D?
Double D, sure. Double D has been friends of mine since probably 1997. We were in a former wrestling federation. Our faction was called the Kobayashi Maru, and we. What you gonna do? It's true. So picture Attitude Era DX, but in the backyard and with a single VHS camera shoot, and a ring we built out of wood and mats we took from a former employment.
And extra nerdy because you named it after a test that Kirk is the only person to pass.
Well, true. It was half the Kirk thing, and there's a Power Man 5000 lyric, a song called Neckbone, where the chorus is Kobayashi Maru. What you gonna do? Am I getting through? Am I getting through? And it gets into a crazy guitar riff. So that was
super nerdy Hulk Hogan, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we did kiss girls, and there's photos of that. So it really happened.
You said
as long as you don't
never kissed a girl before.
as long as you don't get busted having sex with your best friend's wife on video.
Not yet. No, okay. Never convicted.
And then have to sue Gawker.
It's true. But it's early. I mean, it's late here in New England, but it's early somewhere else. So we'll see what happens. We'll see.
It's only 10:13 here.
Oh shit, we got plenty of time, dude.
Yeah. See.
Right. All right, let's go ahead and continue with some of these right here. We got David chiming in. Speaking of The Purge, there's a series of YouTube videos called Chucky Invades, which makes it look like Chucky of Child's Play films has invaded horror films, and one of the films Chucky Invades is the first Purge film.
Wait a minute. Before you go on, Chucky is the villain in Child's Play? I had no fucking idea.
Spoiler alert, bro.
Damn.
What am I gonna? I can't go watch this movie now. It's been spoiled for me. How dare you tell me all about Charles Lee Ray, played by Brad Dourif?
That's true. We got Sean Smithson. Hey, brothers.
What's going on, Sean?
Right, $2 if you eat both at once. Add a couple of zeros to the end of that, and we'll be talking. We see here we got Michael Ravenshadow. Nice to see you back on the show.
Yay!
Ziggy, Thor's hammer was mentioned. Obviously, going back.
But
to
we didn't mention about
what
we were going to do with it.
It's true. That is true. And we got David. The first rule: Fight Club. Never talk about Fight Club.
Does Bob have bitch tits?
Maybe. So, anyways, I guess we should probably go ahead and chat about this movie a little bit, guys. So, this movie, came out in 2015. It's a Kurando Mitsutake film. I am not really feeling like I'm going through a lot of the cast members because I got a feeling I'm going to be having a lot of hate coming my way from mispronouncing things.
I'll give it a shot. I don't give a shit. I'll do it. Give me the cast list. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I really don't care. Fuck it.
Oh man! So I guess I'll go ahead and try to get that up then. For
I
Ron
give
real
no fucks.
fast.
Look at Ron trying to take Chuck's job. I like this. Yeah.
I don't give a damn, man. You know, I play drums in Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, and yeah, brother.
Oh wait, I thought Chuck wasn't here. I didn't know he's on the call.
No,
What's up,
yeah,
Chuck?
no, I'm underneath. You can't really see me, but you can hear me. And I trimmed off my goatee, so I don't look much like a goat anymore. Just kind of like a goat, just so they don't sacrifice me down here in Kentucky to the Dark Lord. I have to hide my horns.
Well, good to have you back.
Hey, no problem.
Oh fucking A, dude. So anyways, I can't say that I know Asami was in this film, which is
I'll just look it up my damn self.
I sent it to you in the private chat.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Who
good.
plays
All right.
Mayumi, who's or gun woman, who's she's in pretty much almost every Kurando movie that I've seen.
Okay,
Yeah, she's kind of like his Bobby D to his Scorsese kind of stuff.
Right.
Okay.
I did notice that looking through a lot of her like films and stuff that she definitely has done just like a lot of like porn stuff.
Just say she diversifies.
Hey, you gotta spread things out.
Yes.
All right, so I got the list here. Let's go through
All right.
this. Let's see how hard this was for JB, because apparently English is a fourth language for him. We have Dean Simone.
Hold on. You're not even starting at the top either, but no, you're
Yes,
fine.
I am. Oh, I'm sorry. Jennifer Mulaney, Matthew Floyd Miller, Dean Simone.
All right, now let's hear it.
Norikai Kamada.
Fuck you.
Erika Maki. Tetsuya Nakati. That's not horrible.
I don't know if that's even right.
Well, I watch a
To
lot.
be
of
honest with you, I can't
so.
really say like if it's right or wrong because I really have no idea how to pronounce some of them.
All right, the next one is Jushin Thunder. No, I'm kidding. Marco Garcia Ballar, Mark Lornoff, Raquel Service. Not going to comment on that last name. Nina Kate, D. Olivia Jordan, Kairi Natara, whatever. Naruto, Midori Okada. I know Okada. Rainmaker,
Yeah. Bill Weatherford,
and Asami.
Does Asami have a last name, or is she just like Prince
or Cher?
Yeah. Or Cher, just Asami.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need, bro.
Or Uncle Ron.
True, it is very true. And honestly, I personally think she did a pretty fucking good job in this movie. But
we'll get to that. We
will. And this is one of those movies where I don't really want to go through and spoil it for too bad for everybody. So I'm going to go through like some of the big plot changes. But this is something that I do recommend people go and check out. It is free on Tubi.
Yeah, go check it out on Tubi. I don't got to pay nothing for it.
Thanks, Chuck.
Now I'm not sure if you're mocking Chuck or MZ.
It's true. I've not seen them both in the same room together, so they could be the same.
Hey, no problem, Chuck. How you doing there? See, we're still here. We're one and the same. We are Legion.
Oh man, thanks Chuck for tuning in, man. I'm sorry you weren't able to make it tonight, dude. We all hope the best for you, buddy. That's for sure.
Miss you, brother.
Right.
I'm gonna grow my beard back.
You should.
I can't grow one. That's why I have to live vicariously through Chuck.
Oh man. So, anyways, this movie starts out, and we have an assassin who ends up killing somebody and then going into his getaway car. And the majority of this story is actually told through another story being told. So I think that's like the proper way to say it. But
narrative through narrative.
Yeah, it's pretty much, that's exactly pretty much what it is. And with that being said, we end up figuring out that they're just trying to figure out the story of Hamazaki's son and how he was murdered. And to get to this point, we end up figuring out that Hamazaki's son, who it's really weird that he's never really named. He's just called Hamazaki's son the entire time.
And that's fine, because that motherfucker was a creep.
Those eyes, like he he played that role very well with some of the things that he did.
And now then they had to sign a restraining order against him, and he can never come within 500 feet of a movie set.
It's not that bad, I'm pretty sure. He's actually he was in Karate Kill too, which if anybody gets a chance to check that one out, Karate Kill is definitely a really, really fun movie. It's a little bit less on the horror side, a little bit more on the action side, but it's a lot of fun as well, and that's free on Tubi as well.
That's the thing. That was Kurando's follow-up picture to Gunwoman, and that is a slog knocker of a martial arts picture. And what you can understand too is the lead character Hayate in that film. There's nothing on that screen that he can't do for real. So all that stuff, and he has a very unique set of martial arts skills. And I guess maybe it's fair to say now, I am honored to say that Kurando Mitsutake is a friend of mine and my brother's on the show, as well as many folks in that podcasting community. But when we first saw this picture and we discussed it back in 2014 or 15, we just saw it as a movie that was getting some buzz, as for being, having ties to the grindhouse world. And it just sounded like a cool picture. And it wasn't until we all, gave our thoughts and had our spoiler alert, our love for the film. And then Kurando got notice of it. And he would leave us a voicemail. And we eventually had him on our show. And we communicated back and forth, and eventually meeting him in real life, I want to say maybe about 4 years ago, we're in Central Mass, about 45 minutes from Boston. And there's a convention called Rock and Shock, which was before the pandemic, our horror con. And we got to meet him and drink beers, have dinner, and have laughs. But the reason why I suggested this film was I would hope that I could share to your audience, which has a very large reach, how we felt when we saw this movie for the first time. And if we can spread the virus, so to speak, that would...
This is not an Opie and Anthony show.
Oh, is that? I don't know them. I know them, but I don't.
That was their thing, spread the virus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They may have copied me. But no, fair.
They probably did. I mean, they tried ripping off Stern, but that's neither.
Right. But yeah, that was not an Opie and Anthony quote. But if we can, spread the gospel, I guess.
There we go.
I guess I'm ripping off Jesus there. But
well, you do that with your look, so it's okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
Can anybody argue that you're not Jesus?
Well,
no.
You got the look down.
It's true. I mean, except for this part, I can't see you. I'm more like, but yeah.
The real question here, though,
you just had the mastermind suture you up.
The real question here, though, is can anybody say that you're not Chris Robinson from the Black Crowes?
Cannot confirm nor deny that.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good to know.
Right. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and jump back into this movie. So,
but we're having so much fun.
Hey, it's completely fine. I'm not mad about it. I just want to talk about the movie a little bit.
You will be.
So as this movie is going on and we have this story being told about the movie, I guess, we end up figuring out a little bit about Hamazaki's son and what he's kind of all about. And he's into necrophilia and like just sick, sadistic sexual pleasures and violence. I guess kind of like when you go and like think about like some of the Asian world, and especially like what's been like told to a lot of Americans about like tentacle porn and all that weird ass shit. Like this guy is like the epitome of the worst of it.
Right.
And then at least that's kind of like how I took it personally. And he ends up going and we end up figuring out later why. I'm not going to spoil that for anybody because you should watch this fucking movie. But we end up figuring out that the doctor, who they just call him the mastermind the entire time. I will say that's one of the things I do like about this movie is how vague certain aspects of it are. Like there is no need to. We'll get to that later. But anyways, well the mastermind ends up having to pretty much watch this guy do certain things to his wife and then kill her in front of him, and then piss in his eyes and beat the shit out of him. Which I'll
be honest with you, that almost made me turn it off. I am not a fan of golden showers. That's why I didn't run for president. But
not
that
the
was
only reason, but fair.
well, no, I mean I'm old enough, but there is that stuff. I mean, I am from Wisconsin, so when you mention necrophilia, I do get a little bit of a Woody.
Was it Friday already?
Yeah, but it is Friday night in Wisconsin, so but yeah, so it's yeah, I don't know, it's just something about, I mean, and it's not for everybody, you know. Every movie has its audience, and that kind of thing just isn't in my wheelhouse, but there was good things about the movie too that didn't involve a urine test in your face.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I would agree too. I mean, the only thing I would ever take umbrage with you, JB, was the only thing, and we've known each other for a long time now.
Yes, a pretty long time. Yeah.
I mean, many years, plural, right?
Yes.
When you said this super fun discussion, I'm not sure anything about Gun Woman as much as I do adore it is super fun. This isn't a laugh out loud like it was so funny when no, that wasn't funny at all.
It was hilarious when he was fucking that corpse.
No. I guess when I said a super fun discussion, I'm talking about the discussion between you and I about Gun Woman will be super fun.
Oh, apparently I'm not here. Good.
Yeah. And Ron.
And Uncle Ron.
Yeah.
You know what I meant, Dick.
Did I?
But,
Did I really?
You should have.
Really?
You should know by now.
Listen. Don't make me go make a movie in Louisiana. Never mind.
Try it. Bet you'll cast a bunch of minors.
Hey-o!
So,
I was talking earlier, and I was talking to a dear friend of mine and a blood relative who just happens to be in the other room, and he said to me, he's like, "Wow, it's like the show went from pedo to pervert."
Well, kind of did. So, anyway,
which would you prefer?
Well, I think everybody has a certain preference when it comes to that one. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it was getting a little hot in here for Ravenshadow.
But he's not wearing pants, I thought.
It's true. Yeah, well.
All right.
I got a high bar.
High bar, yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about this movie a little bit more. So once we get to the point of him killing his wife, we kind of have this little bit of a jump in time that's really not explained very much. But he ends up being crippled. He has a really bad eye. I'm assuming that obviously with being into necrophilia, he must have had some kind of STD that he pissed right into his eye, because it really fucked up the mastermind's eye.
But keep in mind though, he was stomping on his face with his shoes, so I think it was the damage from being stomped on.
It's not his fault that he thought it was a jellyfish that he was pissing on.
It's true.
That is true.
No infection.
No, none. But
then
urine's clean.
The line though about I want you to be alive, he wanted him to be alive, to just keep that memory of what he did, which is a great supervillain trope, right? And I think this movie, what I want to discuss as we continue is the grindhouse / comic book related things that I took from this picture, especially with the son, kind of like a weird, gangly Asian Joker meets the dude, the kid Kevin from Sin City, right? From
all right,
Elijah Wood,
yeah. He had kind of that. He could have gone that route, but I mean, maybe the conversation will take us that way. I'm not sure.
I can definitely see a Joker vibe there. I can really see it when, especially just his mannerisms and everything, like the way he was moving around and everything else. I see what you're kind of going for there. That's for sure. But anyways, they end up jumping over to the future just a little bit, and the mastermind is now getting ready to actually purchase a woman, and he's going through these little pictures, and he's in. They don't really explain where he is. It seems like maybe it's just because by the end of some of the stuff going on in the actual movie, it looks like they might have filmed some of it in like a beer factory, because you do see like kegs in the background and things like that. And some of those vats kind of look very similar to like some of the things that they do a lot of like large brewing in, but I'm not 100% sure on it. I could just say that there are similarities there, that's for sure. But he goes in there and he ends up picking out a woman and ends up purchasing, well, Asami. And she's hooked on meth, really, really bad shape. She's gone through pretty much used up in Japan and sent over to America because Americans like Japanese women. And that is a quote from the movie, not myself.
Yeah,
but
and not true at all in real life.
Oh, I got here.
No, are you sure?
No, that's an old wives' tale.
It's an old wives' tale. I don't know. I really don't know how that works out. I've never been in the human trafficking game, so I'm not 100% sure on the specifics. But I'm happy to know that I got a guy I can talk to.
No. I'm just saying that people like. All right. No Americans like Asian women. That's not a thing at all.
It's 100% a thing. Isn't it like one of the most famous football owners really into it? Because I know he goes to Asian rub and tugs. Mr. Robert Kraft.
That was more Gilf. That was more Gilf.
That's still Asian.
Bob Kraft likes to go to 80-year-old Asian women to get him a rub and tug.
Listen.
Well, an 80-year-old for him is like a 20-year-old for me.
Yeah, I think she was 50.
I'm not
allegedly.
Sure. Allegedly.
Go Brady.
There was no allegedly about it.
You know who would know a lot about this? My brother would know a lot about this, and he's probably chomping at the bit to talk about it. But I told him not to really talk sports because you bring up every comment, and if he starts talking about the Bucks, no one's gonna know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, I do end up going into all the comments, and I guess before I continue, let's go ahead and read up some more of these. Chuck, God, do I sound like he says Rush Limbaugh.
Actually, when I do the live read for the ad, I'm in honor of Chuck. I'm going to do it as Chuck.
Oh, I appreciate that. That'd be
That's
awesome.
why I'm not saying too much. I got to save my throat.
I fucking lose it. And when I was listening to your show, I was on break from the shop on Saturday. I listened to the most recent episode, and I've heard it 100 times, but some reason this past Saturday, yes, Chuck, wash your balls. Your balls stink. I was losing it trying to get my fucking chalupa order, and she had no idea what I was fucking laughing at. So thank you for that.
That's awesome. Let's see. We also got Sam Knight. Hey. Oh man. Got to do the Bill Cosby references there. No, I'm joking. Hey. I heard he recently applied for parole. They got denied because he kind of won't admit to doing anything and go through any of the what do they call
Jello
it?
Pudding pop put up his pooper.
Right. Oh, look at this. We got Jesse chiming in. Ravenshadow knows how to work his video feed. I'm amazed.
Thank you, Johnny. Producer extraordinaire.
Right. Now, I do have a question. I'm like, you don't have to give anything away if you don't want to, but when you guys are filming over there, are you using the same program that I use?
Here's my involvement in getting ready to go live. I turn the lights on and the computer on, and then I wait till Johnny makes it all happen. Now you show up and say Bombaleo, and I tell dick jokes for like 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
And he makes it all happen. So no, he does all the heavy lifting. I'm not sure what kind of alchemy or black magic or, Dr. Strange cloak of podcasting he wears, but it's all him.
Right. He's been doing it a very long time. I will say, if anybody can do anything pretty good with it, it's gonna be Johnny. That's for sure.
Oh my God. Best producer in the business. He's the Clark Kent of broadcasting.
You keep dropping these comic book references, and we're gonna have to be best friends.
I think I'm best friends now. I'm trying, baby. I'm trying to pull it out of you. I'm waiting for you to react to something. We're gonna talk.
JB is trying so hard to keep us on track with Gun Woman. If I bring up the fact that I have Mjolnir,
I know exactly what the fuck I did when I had you just sit there and come in for this episode. Like I already knew about Ravenshadow and how he is about comic books. Like I already knew. And by the way, Steve, thanks for chiming in, buddy. We love you, man.
I mean, if I can't get to the comic shop on Wednesdays, I have them deliver it. And I will purposely tell work, hey, I got to go to the bathroom for a minute so I can go outside and pick them up.
Nice.
You know, I mean, and I'm one of those assholes that follows writers everywhere. I won't follow, like, there's only one comic that, or two comics, but it's one character that I will follow without, depending, no matter who's writing it. And that's Superman.
Respect, brother.
Yeah.
JB, you're fucked now, brother. Keep going, Ron.
But I follow people like Matt Fraction, Ed Brubaker. Yep. Tom King is my goat right now.
Really?
Let's see who who else? Fuck. A buddy of mine wrote. Did you watch Batman: Soul of the Dragon?
Oh, that was was that the anime?
The animated one with what the fuck? I forget who. Like it looked like it was like a 70s movie almost.
Oh, I saw the trailer. I haven't seen it yet. No,
with Richard Dragon and stuff. He wrote that. And then he also co-wrote Justice League World War II, or Justice Society World War II, the new one that just came out. And he's currently writing Flash. So I'm picking up Flash again after I stopped reading it for however fucking long. But if I have to tell, and I keep telling people this, if you aren't a comic book fan, it doesn't matter. Pick up the Mr. Miracle trade paperback with Tom King and Mitch Gerads. That thing is fucking amazing.
I'm dying to, man. I'm so behind.
It is so. Like, I'm really far behind on their Strange Adventures run that they're doing right now. But like, I'm not a Rorschach fan in the slightest. But Tom King is doing a 12-issue maxi series, and he's writing it. I'm picking it up because it's him. I picked up Sex Criminals because of Matt Fraction.
Oh yeah, I mean, our
Sex Criminals was great.
Our former co-host, Dynamo Mars, was a huge rep Sex Criminals. And did Tom King? Did he write Heroes in Crisis?
Yes.
Okay, so I haven't read. I have them all. I mean, I'm a huge Booster Gold mark. So am I.
Me too. He's in my top 5. He's dude. My number one Superman. My number one Superman.
Respect.
My number 2 is who the fuck is my number 2? I forget. I did this with my buddy last night. But all I know is in my top 5 is Superman, Mr. Miracle, Booster Gold, Hal Jordan, and I forget who number 5 was. But Batman's not even in my top 5. I mean, because what the fuck? It's Booster Gold. I mean, come on. Can we get a Booster Gold movie for Christ's sake?
Thank you, sir. Booster.
I want to do the voice of Skeech.
Oh shit.
That's wrong, Booster. No.
Blue and Gold's finally coming out this July.
I cannot wait for that shit. Fucking oh my god, Booster Gold and Blue Beetle and JB's like, huh?
No, I know. I know more than you think I do. Even though 99% of my comic collection is ECs.
Like Chaos Comics.
I'm trying to remember what that one book was. It was an episode of Justice League. I think it was Justice League Unlimited, where all this bullshit was going on, and Booster was just basically crowd control, and everybody kept calling him Green Lantern.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm not Green Lantern.
That one kid's like, "Can I have your autograph?" You're not Aquaman, or something like that. Yeah.
The Booster Gold is regulated below Aquaman, but I will say this: in all of my years of reading, I think my first issue was the first issue. Do you remember the Muir Island saga?
Dude, forget about it. Yeah, Moira McTaggart, all that shit.
Yeah, that was when I first started reading comics. So I have the comic with Rogue versus Strong Guy on the cover, and it's in the grip of the Shadow King, and I have it. Yep. That was my first issue ever. Wow. And so I've been reading for a long, long time. You know, actually, David, Justice League was not a modern version of the Super Friends. Super Friends was a 60s version of the Justice League.
It's true.
Yes. Justice League's been around longer than any of us. Unless Michael is actually Jesus, then he was probably in the writer's room when they were deciding. And then I marked out when I found out that the Suicide Squad villain is going to be Starro.
What the fuck, dude?
And plus James Gunn, I'm in. Sold. You don't have to tell me anything else.
What kind of world are we in when Starro is going to be in the fucking Suicide Squad movie? For those who don't know, Starro is a giant fucking starfish that's purple that comes to Earth, not Monster Zero's ass, but will come to Earth and will have other smaller starfish mind control you. And it's fucking terrible, but it's goddamn brilliant.
Okay, I got to ask you two quick questions before we can be BFFs.
All right, hit me.
Who's your Superman in the movie universe?
JB. Oh no. In
Superman.
cinematic.
Yes.
All right. I mean, you got to give it up to Reeve, right? You got to give it up to
Thank you.
Reeve.
Okay. Don't you have to say anything more before you say something bad?
I'm gonna say Dean
no.
Cain.
No.
I'm out. Goodbye.
Dean Cain worked really hard for me not to like him, but he did it during the political climate. But no, I mean, you got to go with Reeve. But my second choice is TV's Tom Welling, brother. Smallville.
But for me, he was never Superman, though.
And
there's Starro. Yes.
It's Starro. That's buckets and Brian Boland artwork for your face. But no, I mean, it's Reeve, brother. I like. You know who I liked? I liked the kid that was the second Superboy, Gerald, whatever the fuck, on the syndication show in the 90s. I think I'm older.
Oh, I remember that show. Yeah, he was in college or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
With, here's the big question. What's your favorite Superman story?
My Superman is the John Byrne stuff from '85. So all that era is my milk. I mean, I loved when if you read that, when he fought the three Kryptonian criminals in the other world. It was post-crisis, and he fought Zod and those fucking guys, and Superman was fighting them, and they're like, listen, we're going to come to your world. They find out he decimates this whole other world. We're going to come to your universe. We're going to take your woman. We're going to kill her. And you can't fucking stop us. And Clark, and I'm going to call him Clark because Clark's the real person and Superman's the mask, as Bruce Wayne is the mask and Batman's the real person, for my opinion. But Clark,
there is the Kill Bill speech that we could argue about, but
David Carradine was wrong in that, and as much rest in peace, you know.
I agree with the way you put that 100%.
Thank you, brother. But Clark did kill them. He was early in his career in that new continuity, but it fucked him up. And he eventually would masquerade at night as a vigilante called Gangbuster. And it wasn't until he was fighting this guy called Guardian that was created by Kirby, had a yellow shield, that he's fighting Gangbuster and rips open and finds out there's an S under his chest. So we find out that Clark realizes that, shit, I'm getting unhinged thinking about that I can be this way. And he leaves Earth. He says goodbye to everybody. And that's when a whole bunch of other shit happened, but that still stays with me. And I read that back in 80s, early 90s. And 4 years old.
My favorite Superman story is one that they adapted for, I think it was Justice League. And it's called For the Man Who Has Everything.
Yeah, respect.
Where Superman's taken over by Mongol. And he thinks he's still on Krypton, and he's married and has a kid. And it's up to Batman, Wonder Woman, and Robin. In the comic, Robin's there, but in the show, it's just Superman or Wonder Woman and Batman. And doesn't he use Starro to do it, if I remember correctly?
It's been years, but you might be right. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so he, and he has to make a decision whether or not to stay in this world where, a world he never knew, but is kind of like relaxing and serene, and he doesn't have to, worry about saving the universe or go back to. It's kind of like I don't want to spoil Mr. Miracle, but it's okay. The premise of Mr. Miracle, if you haven't read it, I love going back to this because basically Mr. Miracle, scot-free, is able to escape anything. Doesn't matter what. Jack Kirby creation, so respect automatically. The basis of the comic book is he's escaped everything, so now he has to see whether or not he can escape death, so he attempts suicide, and it goes from there.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I love the Mr. Miracle series from the 90s when him and Barda lived in New Hampshire and tried to fucking have a normal life, and then Beetle Booster would show up and fuck shit up.
Barda.
Oof. Yeah, man. Also,
snoo. Barda can snoo me all she wants.
Word to Snurb. I mean, another inspiration. Kirby was inspired by Steranko to create Mr. Miracle. So, I mean, I definitely love the name drop, and probably no one but me, you, and Double D give a shit about what we're talking about right now. I'm sorry.
Probably, but that's okay.
You're completely fine.
This fucking bullshit. Talk about guns.
Oh, okay. Well, you want to talk about the Punisher? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't mind it whatsoever. I will flat out say that I respect everybody's opinion, and I will say though that Superman is not by far my favorite comic book hero by any
That's fair.
means. He's one of them that, you know, I understand why people like him and why they love him so much. But from somebody who was born in the late 80s and grew up in the 90s, there's also hasn't been a superhero that's been as overdone as Superman either.
To be fair, though, I mean, a lot of people think he's super overpowered, like he's a Dead by Daylight villain. That's OP. But if you really know the character, you know that his real weakness isn't even kryptonite. It's his heart, because he cares too much and he spreads himself way too thin.
People say the same thing about me.
Well, you just spread your legs too far and your taint gets too thin.
It does not.
Your
Size.
jungle track
tells me all the time.
Well, your wife, because she has to.
Well, to be fair, JB doesn't have a jungle track because he used manscaping. So that's the important thing we can all take away.
That's true. Yes,
I did use manscaping.
Oh, geez, just sitting right next to him.
Because
no wonder whenever you can tell he mutes, he's like,
yeah. Because JB has the Professor X cut down there, from what I'm told.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Wait, no, I mean, is it the Professor X cut from Days of Future Past?
No.
That's true, yeah.
Where he's got the long hair.
I pictured JB like Storm during the Morlock era, like a mohawk.
Oh, with the mohawk.
Yeah, just a white mohawk. That's sexy, right? I like that.
I'm gonna have to dig it up just for you, Ravenshadow. But a few years before I actually met my wife, I did have a 2-foot fucking mohawk.
Nice.
And then she's like, "Yeah, no,
it actually came off before that." But
I mean, what? Oh,
yeah.
Send me that, brother.
I will. I'll send it right to you.
Oh, he's gonna give it to you, bud.
Oh, give it to you hard. All 2 feet. All 2 feet. So, anyways, I am gonna reel it back in just a little bit here, guys.
Wait, we were talking about something else?
Yeah, I believe we were talking about the Kurando Mitsutake film Gun Woman, as recommended for us to watch by Michael Ravenshadow. And to be fair, I do want people to know that for Two Guys, One Crypt, we usually do let the guests choose our movies and everything. This is a movie that, after watching you guys discuss it on Trick or Treat Radio back in the day, that I did go and watch it like right away. So like this is something that I would have personally tried to get on the show sooner myself. I'm happy that somebody actually finally, asked to do this one. And unfortunately, when you're asking other people to, go ahead, you pick a movie, you're the guest on here, and I try to be nice and let everybody have a choice. It just takes a little while to get to some of them, and I'm really excited that you did pick this one. I can't wait to actually get to what we thought about it at the end of this. So, anyways, I am going to finish up our little discussion on it real quick, or I guess our little walkthrough. So, we got to the point where we're getting to figure out what's going on, and to be honest with you, there's a huge chunk of this movie that is like a montage. And
Yes.
After he ends up buying the woman, that's kind of where we hit. We get into a training montage and then like a gun training montage, which, no joke, takes up probably about a third of the movie. It's a nice chunk of film there that's just her training and getting ready and then getting into like, why she's doing this. And, the mastermind is, gives her a little bit of information. And what he's doing is he's training the perfect assassin to kill Hamazaki's son. And to do so, he is going to be implanting, it's misleading because not everything's implanted. I'm going to say that right now. By partially implanting pieces of guns inside of a woman, suturing her back up, and then pretty much he puts her into an induced state that makes her look like she has died. I'm assuming it's something pretty similar to like what the Haitian voodoo practices with like that blowfish dust. I'm assuming it has to be something similar to that. But, after going ahead and sending her into this facility, and this facility that she's being sent to is where people go to have sex with dead people.
We call it the barn here in Wisconsin.
It's true.
Okay,
down Old
Mr. Gein.
That's right. I love my mom.
God damn it. How many Ed Gein references can we have on this show?
All of them.
But
I
that's
think
what
we
I
have.
love. That's what I love about this picture, where it got so over the top. I mean, this was an independent film. Yes, it was. I mean,
Yeah.
this didn't have Fast and Furious money. This didn't have.
I wish Fast and Furious didn't have Fast and Furious money.
I really
right,
wish
right.
it didn't.
I wish Kurando had Fast and Furious money.
He
Fucking
deserves
fix the
it.
movie. But I mean, every dollar was on that screen, and I love the fact that every character looked unique. And it reminded me, and this is not trying to tickle your feathers there, Ron, but it reminded me a lot of some of those old like 80s Marvel comics where there were supervillain layers on every corner. And that's what that place reminded me of, like going to the Taskmaster to like train villains. We're like, where'd all these thugs come from? Like the fact that the
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
right. Like, so it made sense when the mastermind would go and wearing the trench coat, looking like, a Frank Miller, Daredevil character.
And now Frank Miller looks like Mr. Burns.
It's true, right. Frank,
I bring you peace.
Release the hounds. Also, that was terrible.
Release Elektra.
Yeah, right.
From Jennifer Gardner.
Well, her and Ben have broken up now. So she's free.
Yeah.
But that's what I love, and everything about this had great set pieces. Even the thugs looked like they could be drawn, in old 80s comic. They all had unique looks. I thought that's something that really took me in.
It did kind of feel like a like something that would show up in a Claremont book.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Like the mastermind could have been the mastermind from the Hellfire Club.
Right.
There actually is something, and after we get done talking about the movie and we go on to like what we thought about it after our little break, I do have a question for you and see if anybody actually noticed it, because it was one of the weird things in the background that I noticed about this movie that I was just like, that is very not fitting for this movie, but I really fucking love what I saw. And like I said, we'll wait till after the break. So we're almost to the point of getting to a break. So
good, because my bladder's gonna explode from all the sarsaparilla I've been drinking.
I believe you. So anyways, after going ahead and training Asami, or I forget what her name actually is in the movie. God damn it. Huh?
Was it Mariko?
Mayumi.
Mayumi. Yeah. Yes. So after having these pieces of the gun implanted in her, she is pretty much put into that induced state and then sent over to this facility. And as this is all going on, Hamazaki's son is getting there and he's getting himself checked out. And in this facility, you are fully checked out, every crease and crevice of your body. So he's going through a whole check. And then they start to realize that there's an intruder there because one of the guards isn't responding. So one after one, these guards are killed. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to our thoughts and everything. But then, and then at the end of it and everything, she is able to and this is all going on at the same time as the mastermind notices that there's more guards coming. And he's attacking people from the outside too, as well. And then after she ends up completing her mission, we end up going back into the beginning kind of the story where we have our two guys that were in the car talking about everything going on. And we get a whole plot twist there that I want you guys to actually go and watch it to figure out this plot twist, because it's a little bit different than some of these in movies. And, like me and Ron had a whole discussion how pretty much everything's been done before. It's kind of like music. You can only hit the same chord so many times before somebody's like, I've done that. But
unless you're Tom King, goddammit.
But the little twist in this movie is one that, at least the first time I saw this, I did not see it coming. It is something that I personally can say that I have not seen before this one. Ron, if you have seen it before, like the kind of twist that happened at the end of this one, I tell me. But as far as I know, this right here is like especially for an independent movie, has one of the best kind of twists there that I've ever seen, and I've never seen it done before. So like that right there's probably one of my favorite parts about it. But like I said, we'll get to that a little bit more at the end of this. But we end up figuring out a little bit about these guys a little bit more, and one of the guys ends up getting murdered, and the movie ends. And I know it was a little bit vague there, but I really want to encourage everybody to actually go and check this out. You know, not too often are we doing a movie that is free for people to watch. And with this one being free to watch, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. I strongly think that this is something that people should check out. But anyways, we are going to get ready to take a break. Before we go ahead and start our commercial block, I'm going to go ahead and catch us up on some of these comments. And I believe Ron's going to do a read for everybody. So
I sure am.
Got Sean here. Now that you manscape, ha ha ha. I'm buying another one here soon, but just for my beard. It's that good of a razor.
Don't forget to use the promo code.
Yeah, and use our code TFTP20, save 20% and get free shipping. No joke, dude. That fucking razor, even though they're sponsor us and we have to be like, you know, hey, check this product out. No, it's a pretty fucking
I usually
decent
only let
product
women's
for
lips
real.
down there, but now I'll let women's lips and that razor go down there.
That's fair. Let's see. We got David chiming in. The plot of the movie sounds like a cross between the French film La Femme Nikita and Escape from New York.
I would go ahead and disagree completely.
Yeah, it's really not. David, actually, you know, considering the movie knowledge that somebody like you has, I strongly suggest that you check this movie out. There's no reason for anybody not to.
I mean, I saw you mention the man who laughs down there earlier, but you forgot to mention Conrad Veidt was the person who played the main character. So, gotcha, bitch.
And let's see, we got Colin here. Fast and Furious had Rock money. Not till the end there. They realized it's expensive, so now they only have John Cena money.
Does he mean The Rock is a Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery money?
No, The Rock is in Black Adam.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson money.
Right, yeah, Dwayne.
Can't wait for Dwayne Johnson versus Zachary Levi.
You know, just going to throw it out there. I strongly believe we're like maybe 10 to 15 years away from The Rock running from president. And then it's going to be the entire start of Idiocracy of having a professional wrestler. He's
too smart for he's super smart. But here's the thing: is I also want to talk about real quick before I do the read and we go to
Camacho, fucking Mountain Dew, Herbert, whatever the fuck his name is.
I mean, he's smarter than Donald Trump too, but that's all besides the point. The shit I took earlier was smarter than him. But anyway, if you notice, a lot of the DC movies getting better. Like Aquaman was good. It was a little long, but it was good. Shazam was fun. God forbid a DC movie be fucking fun. If you notice something about both those movies, what they have in common, they are both
neither were as good as the Tim Burton Batman.
Okay, we're gonna go. That's not the point I'm trying to make.
Well, you asked what was in common.
Well, also is they were both directed by people who got their start in horror.
Right.
James Wan did Aquaman. He created Saw and The Conjuring and all this other bullshit. And then Dave, what the fuck is his name? David James something. No, David, the guy who did Shazam. He also did Lights Out. And he did Annabelle Creation, which is the best of the Annabelle movies, I think. Which, I mean, it's not exactly high praise, but
David Sandberg.
David F. Sandberg. He's really super cool to indie filmmakers because he has a YouTube channel where he explains how he does everything and he breaks it down and how to do it cheap and how to get stuff done. And so, I mean, I think comics and horror really have this connection just like comedy and horror. They both hit the same kind of. Now, can I do this read before my bladder explodes?
Wasn't stopping you. Here's the last comment. His slogan: "Can you smell what Americans is cooking?" I actually just to throw it out there. I recently saw this whole poll, but it was on like this whole what makes America great, like around the world. And one of the reasons that does make America great, like according to like other countries, is The Rock was like the number one reason on there. I think it was on People magazine.
See,
so I will go ahead and say that. So, anyways, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and do a read and then a small commercial break, everybody. So, Ron, take it away, buddy.
Summer's coming. Are you ready to unveil your beach bod? You're in luck. Our friends at MANSCAPED just launched their 4th generation performance package, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Complement your summer bod with a trim from the leaders in male grooming. The sun is shining and calling your name, fellas. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust MANSCAPED and get ready for hot guy summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code TFTP20. Now, I had a problem a few years ago because my ball hair got as big as my beard. And I had to go trim it up, and I got a razor caught in there, and it wasn't fun. But MANSCAPED has helped because now nothing ever gets stuck down there. So it's a good time. It's a good time when you're shaving with MANSCAPED. But it's time to bundle up with the MANSCAPED Performance Package 4.0. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. I hope they mean the stuff that you buy and not your balls, because I don't know if I want a zipper by my balls. First off, the new Performance Package 4.0 includes the new Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is insane, and dare I say the GOAT. Not the GOAT that's on the logo for my band, Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, but, you know, that GOAT. Of all ball trimmers, yeah, I said it. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents like mine, thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multifunction on-off switch can engage a travel lock, and gives you the ability to turn the 4,000 LED light on and off when needed for a more precise shade. Did I mention this trimmer is waterproof too? Because I bathe in the creek, in the shower or in the wild, and from your chest pubes all the way down to your ball fro. The Lawnmower 4.0 is the best trimmer for you. Want to take your grooming game even further to the next level? The Performance Package 4.0 also includes a Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ear. It's good because I got a lot growing out of my ear. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and uses 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system. This nose and ear hair trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps I'm lost here. Hold on, because I can't read too good because I play drums. Which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes, like a floor tom. Seal the deal with MANSCAPED's liquid formulations. Before heading outside, use Crop Preserver ball deodorant to keep you on your game in the heat. I also use them on my crops in my backyard, and they work real good. Then after trimming the lawn and whacking the weeds in the heat, give your beach balls a boost and use Crop Reviver. MANSCAPED even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, a MANSCAPED boxers and shed travel bag. Bring your comfort and boxers to another level. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code TFTP20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code TFTP20 at manscaped.com. Escape the shrubs and weeds this summer and shine with MANSCAPED. Your balls will thank you.
Are you a fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic books? Then Epic Tales from the Sewers is a podcast for you. We cover the comic books, video games, movies, cartoons, and anything else turtle-related. We talk about the toys, we talk about the cereal, we talk about all the fun things about turtles that we love so much. So give a listen. You can find us on iTunes, Google Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. Check out Epic Tales from the Sewers, part of the Epic Airways podcast. Give a listen, dudes. Cowabunga is this podcast for you.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music, pants, quoting video games that don't have dialogues, shabibans, tasty news,
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts.
or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Octopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we? We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
Like me.
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Dorkening and Inebriar podcast networks, with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher,
Or any podcast player cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all things that make growing up awesome.
everything about our food is changing. The way we cook it, the way we eat it, and the way we share it. And that's why I'm encouraging you to come and check out Pardon My Fork. Conveniently packaged in hour-long episodes and available anywhere you find your favorite podcasts and at pardonmyfork.com. We are talking to home cooks, chefs, Food Network stars, and world food champions. So cleanse your palate and come and get a heaping helping of Pardon My Fork.
Hello, this is the Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot, but you can just call me Frank. And when I'm not stomping around the woods throwing rocks at hunters, I like to listen to the Paranormal Punchers podcast. That's right, Paranormal Punchers. They talk about all things paranormal, and they're hilarious. Go find them on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and paranormalpunches.com.
Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. A whole new season of spine-tingling pain.
For the first time in We're Not Afraid of the Dark history, we're actually going to watch a erotic scene.
Together. Just a couple brothers watching porn together. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, on air right now. This is the biggest plot hole I saw this, by the way. How in the fuck does she take him back in town for
But he made it a point to bump him. But no, I agree.
How do you not catch this? I was drunk when I watched this.
Whoa, you.
So were we.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just this giant fucking board right here ready to lock down.
Like it has hooks that you latch the fucking door to lock it.
She is on Mr. Skid. I'll put a link in the show there. She does get it. And she's listed as great nudity. She's a red-haired girl. They say she has great national tits.
See?
You seen her black people in this episode?
I like how she's exercising while eating it, and then she's in the bathroom taking a shit, reading the story, and the plate's on the floor.
Man, this is also the first episode where our main characters aren't just a bunch of generic white kids.
Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture, navigated by the Deadites. We are the world's greatest electroshock band, we destroy monsters, we drink booze, and we win championship belts. If you're not listening to Trick or Treat Radio, here's a taste of what you've been missing.
There's 3 guarantees in life. What are they? Death, taxes, and Trick or Treat Radio every Friday morning.
This is one of the most convoluted movies I've ever seen in my life.
I'm fucking trying, man.
Hey. Oh, yeah. Hey. Oh, yeah.
It's like you took a shit on a pile of shit.
But you shit on him for liking what he likes.
Yeah, well, it's my job.
This podcast is now banned in Germany.
It's me, Giovanni Lombardo Radici.
Shut up. I call bullshit. I demand someone to bring me the face of Lindsay Lohan.
If I had genitals, I would definitely bang her.
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fan person?
You just hit the jackpot.
This is a weird movie, huh?
It had action, it had suspense, it had great characters, it had great acting.
I'm gonna strangle you with my jockey shorts.
I don't like mobster movies.
All right, well, here's my take. You're a sick fuck.
Thank you. Now shut the fuck up and let me talk.
Have you ever seen 2001?
The box, right? The box and the monkey.
Available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and trickortreatradio.com.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
And welcome back to this episode of Two Guys, One Crypt. Thank you, Michael Ravenshadow, for joining us on this episode.
Yes.
And your great suggestion of doing Kurando Mitsutake's film Gunwoman from 2014. Wow, that was a lot to say real quick. So, anyways, let's see. We got a few more comments here. Let's see here. Colin, I think Alex Jones should do a live read in the future.
Manscape's turning the frogs gay.
And we got Sean here. Ha ha. You have to do this read with a mullet and a Budweiser or a NASCAR hat, cut off shorts and a foreigner t-shirt. If people realized that you were trying to sound like Chuck, he would take some pretty bad offense to that.
Oh, if he goes back and says, sees this, he will.
And a cigarette with a log ash that just defies gravity. That's kind of how it works, too, to be fair.
I mean, I go get a haircut every 2 months just so I don't get a mullet.
Well, you'll have that sometimes, that's for sure. So, anyways, man, this was a hell of a fucking movie choice. I'm pretty happy that you picked it. And this is the point in the episode where we go ahead, go around the room, talk about what we thought about this movie, and give it a rating between 1 and 10. Mr. Ravenshadow, with you being our special guest for the evening, man, why don't you go ahead and lead us off here?
Well, I thought about the movie. So, I mean, I think for me, going to this, when we saw it for the first time, I went in completely blind, just knew what it was. It was called Gunwoman. And watching it, I'm a huge fan of the 80s era, the Cannon films, the work of Andy Sedaris, like in that world, the VHS rental era. I was of the right age. I was born in '76, man. You know what I mean? So it was that right time of just seeing that kind of 80s action and things like that, and things that would be in late 70s stuff, things that would be known as grindhouse. And yeah, to be fair, there was something. I've watched this film about 4 times in my life. I just rewatched it with my girlfriend before we started recording today. And every time I watch it, it gets a different perspective. Where I thought the beginning was actually more brutal than it really was. My memory of my first time watching it, I thought it was harsher. I'm not saying this is something that would be on Nickelodeon. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it was
maybe Nick at Night though.
Yeah, no, not even Nick.
This is the real Nickelodeon guts.
Yeah, like Wicked Nick at Night, Wicked Late Nick at Night. You opened it up when, yes, someone was assassinating somebody in the opening scene, but it was a naked girl in a shower, who looked like Dwight from The Office mixed with Inspector Gadget. That's fucking weird. But it just shows the great attention to character detail and what they had. As it progressed, you could see maybe there's some directors that share certain visions, right? And that's not a knock to anybody. I mean, it's fair to say that Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez grew up with the same shit, right?
Right.
And they're both different and they're similar, but they're unique. There's even the guys that made, I don't know his name, but Love in the 45 was an independent picture that came out starring Gil Bellows that I really enjoy. Or even, I hear the director's a douchebag, but Boondock Saints.
He was a douchebag.
Yeah, and it's too bad he was such a douche that he could have made fucking good movies, and Boondock Saints 2 sucked, except for the ending. Like, that's the movie I wanted to fucking watch. That's a different podcast.
Them in prison.
Right. With fucking Daryl with the fucking...
The first one was fucking amazing, though.
Right. So, I mean, there's a lot of directors, and I'm not smart enough to name them all, but I thought when we saw our first experience with Kurando, this guy has something here, and all his money is on the screen. He can do sleaze. He can do... This wasn't a grindhouse revival like Planet Terror and Death Proof, which, to be fair, I wasn't super sold on when it first dropped. I thought it tried too hard. Now, I love QT and Rodriguez. Don't get me wrong. Fucking Desperado, El Mariachi, all that stuff. I actually did rewatch Death Proof about a month ago, and I really enjoyed it. But I don't think Kurando tried to make a modern day grindhouse. I think he tried to he made something that would fit on those video store shelves when we were trying to rent Faces of Death or whatever it was we were just renting because of the box art. I mean, if you saw Asami, if I was 13 years old, Asami on the cover with guns, I'm gonna see this fucking picture. It really appealed to me, and what he did with very little. It ain't Casablanca. I'm not gonna say that, but you see some fucking things in this picture. Whether it's the evil, it's a tale of revenge, of redemption, being reborn, and that's why. And the mention before of the La Femme Nikita, and I mentioned this in my original review. Discussion. We are not film critics, but
speak for yourself.
Fair. At least on Dream Street Radio, we discuss.
We use the word review, so does that mean we are critics?
But the training of an assassin, and it reminded me of actually the best Black Widow origin story in a film that we haven't seen yet. And it kind of reminded me of something like that. So I was along for the ride.
Speaking of Black Widow, I really feel like this new movie coming out is too little, too late.
I don't disagree. It's kind of like, hey, we give you one. Here you go.
It should have come out before Wonder Woman. Then DC beat them to it, and now it's pointless. I mean, the people who are Stranger Things fans are going to get their David Harbour fix before the new season hits. But other than that,
which is fair. I mean, for what we've talked tonight, who would have thought that Red Guardian would ever be in a fucking movie?
Never.
The fucking Soviet super soldiers and shit like that. But yeah, I think it's probably going to mostly serve to be a bridge, whether it's bringing in Taskmaster or maybe characters we haven't seen yet. I think it's going to try to advance the plot down the line.
And I think the new Doctor Strange movie is when the X-Men and the Fantastic Four come in.
We'll see, man. I mean, it's a great time.
The next superhero movie I'm looking forward to is the next Doctor Strange.
Because of Sam Raimi.
Yeah, I am.
And the obvious Bruce Campbell cameo that's coming.
Oh shit!
You know what's gonna be there.
Yep.
Anyways, go ahead, Michael Ravenshadow.
All right, I'm not sure what I'm doing here, but no, yeah.
Well, this is a video camera, and there's a microphone that you speak into, and you use words and action.
It feels like Trick or Treat Radio tonight. But no, I can just keep jib jabbering. I mean, I love when this movie took a turn. I mean, this movie has sleaze. It has nudity.
A lot.
It has gore and I know you guys, kind of focus on the horror end, but there are some action pictures that I think outgore horror pictures. And I think this is one of them.
RoboCop.
What's that?
RoboCop.
Oh, forget about it. I saw that in theaters, brother. Absolutely.
Me and Michael Ravenshadow have already had a couple of conversations about RoboCop on this show.
All day long. Fucking, he shot that guy in the balls. That's fucking wow. But the night comes for us. It will fucking. I'm sorry, Michael Myers. That fucking movie is bloodier than fucking. Hell, even like the Kill Bill pictures. But
I will say this though: the trailer for the new Halloween movie does look gory as all fuck.
People are marking out for that. Yeah.
I'm still cleaning up semen from my walls.
Well, to be fair, it fucking took them long enough to bring Danny McBride on.
Right.
I think it's more David Gordon Green, but
I'm going to say it's all Danny McBride.
I'm going to totally disagree with you there. Danny McBride doesn't have a film in the Criterion Collection.
He should.
What?
Well,
this is the end?
Fair. If only they accepted TV shows.
I thought the journey this takes you on, where it starts out, you're already uncomfortable, and then you get more and more uncomfortable, and then you have a guy buying a girl who probably is the hottest meth addict I've ever seen. She
was a little too.
Yeah, I mean, the hair was still there, all full row of teeth.
A lot of teeth. No scarring. None of those weird patchy fucking scars and stuff. I live in a bigger city. I see meth addicts.
Oh yeah, they're right by the Woo Sox ballpark. They're still doing deals. My girlfriend made a comment about how she's like, she has to take her eyes off her grooming. I'm like, yeah, she's actually really well. Like, she must have had Manscaped in that warehouse because Manscaped, because she was very interestingly well groomed for being in a warehouse for however many months. But I think it's the progression of her and. I love her journey, and the fact that Asami is so fearless. I mean, she's doing these fight scenes fully nude, covered in blood, against guys in big tactical gear. She is incredible. I'm not even sure she even says a line of dialogue, but
no.
She's the naked Asian Clint Eastwood.
But she's so great, and even and it's testament to Kurando's skill and vision. But she even gets a costume being naked, even down to grabbing the watch in the black rubber gloves. And even the moment of, there's a moment where she becomes the hero, right? Clark in the Fortress. When she, let's say, sheds something that will maybe make her more efficient in fighting. And there's a pose while she's split open. And she the way it changes the character.
The last time we see her, I think it's a perfect way for her to look if there was a sequel. and to continue her journey. Like, I thought they killed that look at that last scene that we get to see her in.
And that was so killer. And I want that sequel.
Gun Woman 2, even gunnier.
Yeah, guns, more guns. So, I think we joked
Instead
before.
of a handgun, it's an AR-15, and they had to cut her open about 7 more times.
We mentioned this on we discussed it on the show. Gun Women. That's a fucking movie right there. But I love Asami. She is fantastic. And this was my our first exposure to Kurando, and having watched Karate Kill, which is even he is a bigger budget, shows his chops more. And up next, he's doing, for our understanding, the first Japanese giallo, Maniac Driver, which is coming soon. So this guy is dope. This film is dope. You've not seen it before. Full on, fully nude, naked women,
men too,
nuclear backgrounds, necrophilia, gunplay, covered in blood. What the fuck else do you want? I'm sorry, you can watch Downton Abbey.
Love. I want love.
There was some love in it too.
It ends. I would say this is a definitely. We would call it a treat on our show, but I would say this is definitely an 8 on right here, man. I'm sorry. I'll just keep talking. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I guess we'll go ahead and go over to Uncle Ron here. I know that this is as described earlier. This is definitely a movie that's not exactly in Ron's wheelhouse. And all I can say really is that I appreciate him actually going and taking the time to go and cover for Chuck this week, and not just do that, but watch something that is not something that he normally would go and take the time to watch.
Now, okay, I'll give my rating at the end after I explain myself. My most recent film that I fucking adore is Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It's great. It's funny, and it's gory as hell. I mean, and it's a bloodbath. You know, when someone takes what are those mines where it says point forward towards
towards the enemy.
Yeah. When someone takes that like 3 feet from their face.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. So it's pretty. And I mean, it's written by the guy who did John Wick. So, and look for that at Uncle Ron's Driving. But this was just not for me, I guess. I'm not the right audience for it. Not that I don't like boobs, because I love them, and I fully subscribe to the Joe Bob theory that a movie automatically gets a half-star reduction if there's no boobs in it. But it's just like I mentioned before, the minute the urine gets involved and the necrophilia, despite being from Wisconsin, we don't fuck our dead relatives. Not all of us, at least. Well, I only got my brother, and I'm not going to kill him because then I'd have to clean up afterwards. But, what was that?
That could be messy.
Yeah, it could be messy because we're both big. We're both over 6'3", you know, so it's a lot of sinew to cut through. But it just, and I don't know if it's because as I've gotten, like when I first started making movies, they were fucking bloodbaths, you know, and now I don't know if it's because I've gotten older or my tastes have changed with age. If it's a Friday the 13th movie, I'm going in expecting it to be a bloodbath. I went into Gun Woman like you did, blind, completely blind. All I saw was the poster. That's all I saw.
Yep.
No idea.
You're welcome.
This is the kind of movie for the people that like this kind of thing, and this is the kind of thing that those people like, I guess. If I was to, I mean, how do I put this? I'm trying to be very nice, and I don't want to say anything bad. But if this was okay, let's put it this way: I'm a big WWE fan, despite all the bullshit. Okay.
Yeah.
I watched this movie and it felt like AEW.
Oh, see, now I'm
because, okay, this was like, it was a lot of flash and a lot of like, I'm not saying it's Kenny Omega, because fuck Twinkle Toes McFingerbang and fuck the old Bucks. But the middle-aged bucks, whatever, losing their hair bucks. But there's substance to the movie. There's a story behind it, yes. But there's a lot of flash to it. And I think I might be over the flash.
Okay.
As it were. I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's made well, you know, and as a filmmaker, I respect everybody who's ever made a film because I know what goes into it. You know, I know the pain, I know the heartache, I know the struggle, unless you're making a found footage film or just using everybody else's footage. So I'm going to give this, out of sheer respect, I'm going to give this a 5.5.
Okay. I believe I think that's actually better than what IMDb has this movie set at too, just to be fair.
Oh, and by the way, the Inspector Gadget Dwight guy, all I could think of after you said that was like, Michael!
This movie does actually have a 4.8 on IMDb, so that's still higher than the average.
So but that's my thoughts,
right?
And I'm sticking to it.
Right.
Well, that's fine too, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if a film works for you, if it does, it doesn't. That's fine. And I think you could see some possibility there. And it's funny, like I'm loving AEW right now. It's not the Attitude Era, and I'm not saying all the Attitude Era. I'm saying Michaels, Austin.
For me, AEW is 2000s era WCW.
Oh, you think so?
Everybody who gets released from WWE ends up on AEW, just like WCW.
Fair. I like Jungle Boy.
I haven't watched wrestling since
Tony Khan is an outlaw. Tony Khan is an outlaw mud show booker.
Fair, but maybe I'm a huge Jericho mark.
Really?
I
lost so much respect for him when I found out some things.
What things?
We'll talk afterwards. What happened?
No, I'll say it. It's not like he's not a pedophile or anything. He was a hardcore Trump supporter. And then he was talking mad shit about my wrestling god, Mr. Jim Cornette, and said that Corny hasn't been relevant since the 90s. And then Corny's response was, "Oh, you mean like when I discovered your ass?"
Oh, they do have some heat, though, don't they?
They do. And then Jericho's talking shit about Corny being relevant, but yet Jericho had family members at the January 6th Capitol thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, yeah. Get your dad bod off my TV screen. Don't wrestle no more.
He does live in Florida, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, he's and it's just you know, I was never a big Jericho fan. Like for my money, because I'm from the Midwest.
He's more of a Heartbreak Kid kind of guy.
No, I'm not actually.
Oh, bless him.
I am a fan of the voice of the voiceless. I want my ice cream bar. I want my picture on the programs and the collector cups that you buy. I am the cult of personality, Mr. CM Punk.
Okay, there you go. Although I did laugh when you called them the old bucks, because I have a buddy, Tom Smythe, that also makes jokes about their hairline and their age.
It is receding so far. Pretty soon they're going to look like Devin Townsend from Strapping Young Lad. We're going to have skullets. We're going to look like Hogan in late 90s WCW.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's getting there. They can't be called the Young Bucks anymore. They should just be like the Bucks, but then Milwaukee will come after them and sue their ass.
That's true.
What can you do?
Being the elite. And Kenny, that's my crazy medicine alarm. Sorry about that. And then fucking Kenny Omega, Twinkle Toes McFingerbang, with his finger pointing and his damn video game jumping around like an asshole. That's right, I said it. You know what's funny is I was playing Destiny a few weeks ago, and there was a character, a player in there, and the username was One Winged Angel. And I didn't notice it until it was too late after I revived them when they died. And now my brother and Colin, who's in the chat, will not let me live it down that I probably revived Kenny Omega when I should have left him fucking dead. Him and his fucking perm. Kenny, if you're watching this, and you probably are because you're a mark for yourself, Kenny, the only reason your matches with Okada were any good is because of Okada and not because of you flailing, child wrestling, blow-up doll, imaginary bullshit wrestling. You didn't even get any training. Yeah, I just watched TV. That might work for a director, not a professional wrestler, you fuck. All right, I'm done. Go ahead, JB. What did you think of Gunwoman?
How do I follow up that? I don't know much about wrestling. I watched it in the 90s. The Attitude Era is about all I know about the wrestling.
Unlike The Miz, I did not come to play.
I will say that my favorite wrestling games, me and Ron had to talk about this, was WWF Royal Rumble, I believe from 1995, and WCW Nitro for Nintendo 64.
I believe No Mercy was the last one, right? Was the THQ games? The THQ games.
Yes.
WWE 2K21 or 20 was a fucking shit show.
Right.
It was
I'm
bad.
More into like 2K.
Well, when they tried doing the Mortal Kombat style stuff was lame, but like we had the WCW, the NWO versus Nitro, the Japanese version. That Wolfie.
I remember that one.
And we were able to convert it, get the converter, and make our own characters. But like that, it was the company was THQ that made the best.
And I'm gonna bring this one up because I agree. No Mercy for the N64 is the best wrestling game ever.
Right.
So good.
So, anyways, let me go ahead and get into my review.
Yeah, sorry. We're sorry, Kurando.
Oh,
I didn't realize I'd be cutting a promo on Kenny Omega tonight.
To be fair, Kurando's already had multiple interactions with you, so this is entirely completely normal. So he knows being off topic happens, especially on podcasting.
Especially if I'm here.
Right. So there's one thing I really want to ask you guys if you noticed it about this movie, and it's not a spoiler, it's just something I noticed in the background. So when we start, before we get into training montages and everything, and we have this where the warehouse scenes and everything with the mastermind and Asami's character in there, if you looking behind Mastermind, it's not like really a poster as much as it looks like it's just written there. Fucking Lou Reed.
Lou Reed. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that doesn't fit in at all, but I fucking love that.
Well, Walk on the Wild Side.
I'm just sitting there the whole fucking time, like my respect already for Kurando is way the fuck up here. I appreciate what he does. I've seen multiple movies of his, and I personally like what he does. But then when I noticed that for the first time, and I noticed it the first time on my latest watch of this, I was like, it just went from like here to like here. It's like I did not expect Kurando to be a Lou Reed fan to begin with.
Well,
but then
Lou
to throw
Reed
that in there
pops
is
out of
fucking
nowhere.
sweet. Huh?
Lou Reed is like the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, no one expects Lou Reed.
Yep.
No,
Yeah,
no. But I just thought that was fucking amazing.
Get the comfy chair.
But taking it back to wrestling, I definitely popped when I saw that. I was watching that at Marion today, and like, is that a fucking Lou Reed?
You noticed it today too?
Yeah,
I saw it.
It's my 5th time watching the picture since 2014, and I'm like, oh shit! But Kurando's down, man. He loves Bowie. He's the hippest, coolest dude.
What's your
man.
favorite Bowie song?
All of them.
If you had to take it down to one song, what would you say?
I really like I'm Afraid of Americans.
That's a pretty good one. Ron?
My favorite Bowie song. Wow. There's so many.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't think of one. They're just like
Really?
he's one of those. Bowie's like Prince, where you can't label him down because there's just too much.
I will say there's one song that always outshines any other song. Magic Dance.
Oh,
you remind me of the Babe.
What power? Yeah, fucking weird, man. It's a big fucking piece.
I fucking love that song.
Let me guess, your favorite Prince song is the Bat Dance.
No.
Oh.
Yes.
My first concert was fucking Prince and the Revolution, 1985 tour. My mom took me because I thought Prince was a superhero because he dressed like Batgirl, and he hit the motorcycle. And I'm like, but somehow he's like 4 foot tall. You put a guitar in his hand, the dude's 6'8". He's the fucking most.
Am I the only one? Now, I don't know if you ever watched it, JB, because you are a wee bit of a youngster.
I was born in 88.
Yeah, we'll just pass that off then.
My wife is pretty close to Ravenshadow's age, though.
Well, we're not going to talk about you and your MILF fetish, but
it's better than going younger.
That's true. I've had that problem. I was 30 at one point dating a 19-year-old, so we'll talk about that later.
You must have been divorced.
No, I've never been married. I just know how to. I just know what to say to people. Like, hey, I'm going to this party and there's going to be a lot of booze. I'm there. I'll tell you off air what happened with that. But am I the only one who would watch the Batman 66 reruns and just hope for Yvonne Craig to go by in the opening credits, knowing that Batgirl was going to show up? And Yvonne Craig, I don't know if she was hotter in the Batgirl suit or when she was like librarian Barbara Gordon.
I'll take you up one more, my friend. I do work part time in a comic shop.
No.
But yeah, and we have a lot of photos of the Adam West 66 stuff, and we have a series of photos of Yvonne Craig pre-Batgirl, like her at one point, her with Elvis, and Elvis is holding like her up on his arms, like two bikini-clad girls. And I mean, not to be Randy Pan the Goat Boy, but heavens, she was a superior-looking young woman.
Now, okay, let me ask you this before JB finishes. We go back to the gun.
Sorry, JB.
No, aside from the Joker,
yeah,
because everybody's favorite's the Joker. Who are your two favorite Bat villains?
Ra's al Ghul
from
and
the
the
66,
or just in general?
Ra's al Ghul and the Riddler.
Oh, see, ours are completely different. What about
I
you,
would
JB?
say Riddler and Scarecrow.
See, oh wow, we're all off here because mine are Mr. Freeze and Two-Face.
You just like the Arnold one.
No, I'm talking like the Mr. Freeze from the animated series. Heart of Ice is so fucking good.
Now, Ron, yes, and my brother Rocky Bowick, aka No Man, we often talk about the episode of the animated series, which was the defining point of Mr. Freeze.
Oh yeah, Heart of Ice, so good.
The best episode. And yes, Harvey Dent. Yeah, I'm a huge Harvey Dent mark. Don't get me wrong.
We had a whole discussion on Mr. Freeze recently, just me and Ron.
Yeah, I just watched the part 1 of the Long Halloween that they just put out, the animated movie, and it's taking a little bit to get used to Jensen Ackles from Supernatural's Batman. But their arc with Harvey is just fantastic. You know, and my brother is a big mark for Hush.
Yeah, that's maybe the younger kids. Maybe.
Yeah, he is 31, so he's
about my age.
Yeah, he's a year younger than you are.
Yeah, well, not much, but yeah.
Well, he's born in 89.
Right, 80. Yeah, 1 year, whatever. Fuck you.
Hey, I was born in 79, and I was born just before the cutoff for Gen X, so I don't give a fuck.
I think I'm classified as a millennial.
I am not a millennial.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. I think I am.
You are. You 100% are.
Yeah. I don't fit the bill, though. I will say that.
No.
You know, I have no problem working for a living and not complaining and thinking people should give me shit.
You don't want to eat your pizza backwards so you can be done with it before it's cool?
I didn't even know that was a fucking thing, dude. I'm too busy having a job. So
I'm too busy wearing clothes that fit.
Right. Free clothes from Manscaped, and you should check them out.
Manscaped.com, TFTP20, 20% off and free shipping.
There you go.
Your balls will thank you.
They will. That's actually on the back of the shirt. But anyways, back to my review of this movie. So yes, Lou Reed, fucking respect up even more for Kurando. I fucking love that. Then another one of the things about this movie, and it's something we really didn't get a chance to touch on. with a lot of these movies, especially independent films that have a lower budget, they tend to cut a lot of corners when it comes to doing the special effects. Usually you get like some really kind of cheesy looking CGI, you get fake looking blood, things like that. This, you don't really get too much of that. Like you get a CGI looking bullet scene for a second.
Okay,
You get
sure.
a tiny splash of CGI blood with one kill. But the majority of this is all practical effects. The blood looks fucking amazing. The cutting and everything when he's putting the gun pieces inside of Asami. I mean, it looks fucking killer. When she's pulling it out and you got that blood gushing out, it looks fairly realistic to compared to this is gonna sound fucking gross. Similar things that I've seen with real things happening.
Aftermath.
that was a whole different story. I can't believe I got people to actually watch that movie.
I tried to erase it from my mind, and then you had to fucking bring it back.
I did every time.
It's like every time somebody mentions Threads, or I have to mention Threads, I have to get into a different mindset, because I know a lot of people think that I'm a big pussy, but that movie fucked up my head.
Yeah.
Threads fucked me up bad.
Aftermath, if you guys haven't seen it, you thought Ravenshadow was aroused when we got onto this episode. Watch Aftermath. Sean Smithson is probably fucking pissed the fuck off right now. Like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. But anyways, with this movie, I thought the plot was great. I thought the twist at the end was fucking amazing. By the way, Sean Smithson's chiming in. Yeah, thanks for that recommendation. You suck.
Watch Solo, Sean. Watch Solo or 128 Days in Sodom.
Don't.
That's a nice palate cleanser for Aftermath.
I would say it is a palate cleanser compared to Aftermath. But anyways, I thought this movie was a lot of fun. I thought the revenge style of it, what they were going for, what Kurando was doing with it and everything, was not like, I guess it wasn't like your typical revenge movie. Like, especially being a horror fan, when we go into revenge movies, the big one that we usually get are things like your rape revenge movies, like I Spit on Your Grave and shit like that. And this isn't, I guess it kind of touches it to an extent, but it's different. It's not like the revenge being taken upon from the woman's point of view. And even though a woman is taking the revenge itself is more through the mastermind. He's the one who's actually.
But I'm sorry, JB. But
you're okay. I'm used to it. This is like what, the fifth time? No,
I'm sorry, brother. You know I love you so much.
We're only 42 minutes over on the show. That's fine.
It's sorry, I know.
It's totally my fault.
I don't care.
But that's the thing about Kurando. Like he will make some pictures that are, grindhouse and gory and maybe sleazy, and he does nudity really well. Really well. I
will say, getting, not to interrupt, I'm sorry, but I will say that I did get a Tarantino vibe here, the way the story was paced. Because how Tarantino doesn't really necessarily tell a story in a linear fashion. I definitely got that vibe from this.
But I think this was almost done more efficiently. I mean, it was more Kevin Smith, get them to the mall, right? Bang, get them there. Fucking cut that shit out.
And once they got there, it was just boom, 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 boom. And
it's like Dawn of the Dead. Get them to the mall.
Right. I mean, it was a tight 90 minutes. Right. But his films do say things. I mean, you could have the fact the mastermind, his wife was brutally attacked in front of him and then killed in front of him. Then he gets stomped on and then pissed on. Like, that's some like John Wick level of, all right, you killed his dog and fucked up his car. Of course he's gonna fucking come back. He's thinking, I'm back. Right. Great reason for revenge. And maybe even Asami's character had that, where she had men that fucking put her in that world. So maybe she has a chance to, all right, maybe there's some Stockholm syndrome going on, and there was a sex scene that maybe, wasn't the most accurate thing, but she's getting a chance to have revenge on all the men that put her in that predicament. That traded her and passed her on, and it's her chance to do that. And so she gets her kind of comeuppance, if I'm saying that word correctly. His films have something to say. And even like I talked about the new film Maniac Driver, which is back into production post-pandemic, has a more political slant wrapped up in a Japanese giallo. And I think that's what horror and comics have in common, maybe even heavy metal music, is the metaphor for things. On one hand, it could be shock, breast, guys in tights, ponytails and pouches, right? Rob Liefeld era. But maybe there's still something there. Under the Blade by, maybe I'm saying that wrong, by Twisted Sister isn't about sadomasochistic. It's about his bandmate who had a surgery. It's more to it than just what the words and the showing is. And that's when you make art that can be impactful. And sometimes maybe it's just a naked chick shooting dudes, but maybe there's more to it than that. Right? Yeah. Am I saying, am I dumb? I'm not sure.
No, not at all. I mean, you're hitting a lot of good points there for sure. A lot of it are things that I was going to go back and kind of say as well. I just, you can tell that he has a lot to say with everything that he's doing with it, and it's fucking obvious. But I going back to kind of like what I was saying though with the special effects though, there is another scene here near the end, and we see a Asami carrying a certain body part. And I will say, for an independent film, that may have been one of the best scenes that I have seen where it looked actually fucking realistic.
Nice.
Like that part. I mean, like the work, the time, and the effort that Kurando's put into making this movie, I thought was significantly better than the majority of films like it. Well, let's be honest. There's no other film like this one, to be honest. It's a really fun watch. It's trying to think if there's anything I like really missed about it, but like, man, that ending twist there, that was something like I've never seen before. I really do appreciate something that I haven't seen before. Maybe if I have seen it where it was like something so small, it was unnoticed in other films. But that right there alone was one of the coolest things that I think about this movie. Just the last few minutes when you get that scene there is just fucking great. I loved it. Overall, for a rating on this one, I'll give it about a 7.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I think it's about right there for me. I will say personally, I'm not sure if we're ever gonna do it on the show because we let the guests pick. But if we ever get around to doing a film like let's say Karate Kill, that one to me is more of like a 9.5 out of 10. And that's another Kurando flick. There are some action scenes in that one that fucking blow my mind. I mean, you said the name of the actor who was in it or whatever, but that dude, huh?
Yeah. Hayate.
Yes, him.
Oh yeah, him.
Like, all right, for somebody like me growing up and everything, especially like being really into Asian cinema, like growing up in America and everything, like being born in the late 80s, the main person that you're introduced to a lot is Jackie Chan. And
right.
That somebody is doing all of his own stunts and everything, you get all excited. And then you start to realize that nobody's really doing that but him. And then you see a movie like Karate Kill and you see this guy go, and it's like, holy fuck, this guy is fucking awesome. But anyways, like back to Gunwoman, I mean, I loved it. I truly did. I'm happy that you picked it. I really, really am, dude. I've been waiting for people to start picking different other movies, and especially going into other cultures with them. And I am personally a really, really big fan of Asian horror. So like, I'm really, really happy that, even though it's not like a full blown horror film, I'm happy that we were able to touch a little bit more of that on the show.
I'm glad we didn't have to watch Trancers again with that asshole Ron.
Yeah, Ron did pick Trancers. So anyways, before we go ahead and start wrapping everything up here, Let's see. We got Sean Smith and saying a few more things here. I do have to agree with what they were doing for that movie and did a great job, but what the hell? Is he talking about Aftermath still? I'm trying to get my business partner to watch it. Let's see here. What was the other movie I had to rent on their website? What website, Sean? Were you talking about what was it, Salo? Maybe he was talking about Salo. I'm not sure which one.
Or you can just go to watch.trauma.com and watch my movies there.
Yes, you could. Or if you go over to, let me go ahead and get this link ready for everybody. For $5, you can actually pick up a copy of Ron's newest film.
Who's Gonna Watch You Die?
You get two different versions. You get it with the commentary or without. I mean, for $5, you can't fucking beat that for a movie. And you are supporting a friend. You know what I mean? A person that's independently going and making these things. And let's go ahead and bring this up real quick, because who the fuck can say that Trauma has paid them money?
Look, it's Trauma, and they paid me money. I can't get the thing in the
up
there. Wait, we know JP Morgan. Fuck them. Big bank. There, Trauma Entertainment. It's a check, and it's signed by Michael Hers.
Yeah, we'll give you fucking Trauma bucks. There you go.
Hey, well, I mean, it's like it's enough to buy Taco Bell, but it's still a check from Trauma. I have a buddy.
That's about what Trauma does.
I have a buddy who put a movie out, like, and they shot it on
James
film.
Gunn got.
Probably. Well, I mean, look at him. He got way more out of Lloyd because of that. Look at his career now. But I have a buddy who put out a movie through Trauma, and they shot it on film and everything. And he saw the check, and he said, "Wow, that's more than we got." And I picked up his. And I know it's sold because I bought a copy at a con.
I've heard stories. I think actually I heard a little bit even on Trick or Treat Radio about Trauma and Astron 6, one of some of my favorites right there. And there's some horror stories surrounding him, to say the least. But I guess you'll end up having that in that kind of business, that's for sure. So man, dude, this is definitely been
He vanished. He is
I know.
Jesus.
I think he had to go poop.
Oh.
No, there he is. He is Jesus.
No, my dog is running amok.
Oh, how is Ollie doing? I know he wasn't doing too good there for a little bit.
Ollie's doing good. He had successful surgery, successful bladder stone surgery, which was a little scary for your boy Ravenshadow, but he's bouncing around the stairs, and he probably wants to watch John Wick again, because that's his favorite movie, except for the first 10 minutes.
Well, I
is
can
it
imagine.
because he thinks you're in it?
No, thank you. No, I don't want him to hear it, but it's when the Og dies. He doesn't like that part, but he likes the vengeance.
I can't blame him. I can't blame him at all there. Anyways, man, dude, thank you so much, Michael.
And don't rewatch Humanoids from the Deep with him then. There's like 7 of them die.
Oh heavens.
Only thing I think about when it comes to like dog trauma is that Faces of Death video where you see that husky pup get skinned.
Oh, it's not good. Yeah.
No,
it's not good.
Technically, I think that's like a before my time movie. Like that's one that Ravenshadow would have been trying to find on VHS back in the day.
Thank you, JB. Yes, I did, because I'm older than you are. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? What's funny is my first we're not going to get into my first foray into horror because I've told that story over and over. But the first time I was ever able to rent horror on my own was at a Planet Video. And I walked in and the manager was either super cool or he wanted to touch my butt because I was like maybe 16, 17. And I had a lot of butt back then.
What, you go to the bike shop that Dudley and Arlo went to back in Different Strokes?
No, I wasn't there yet because I was too fat to ride a bike. But so I went in there and I'm like, I'm looking for like horror stuff. And he grabbed 2 different VHSs. One was Evil Dead 2.
Nice.
And the other was a film called Alien Prey.
Oh, I know that movie.
With the lesbians?
Yes.
That movie is so fucked. Like beyond fucking imagination. It's so bad. And I come to find out that scene in the lake, everybody had to get tetanus shots after that because the lake was full of raw sewage.
Well, as Monster Zero on our show likes to say, you got to suffer for your art.
And I had to suffer watching it. The fucking alien looked like a goddamn angry koala bear.
Yeah, it's scary.
Not really.
Are scary.
Just kick the motherfucker. They're about as big as Chucky. It's like Dee Snider said in I Love the 80s. It's like it's Chucky. He's a fucking 3-foot doll. Just kick the son of a bitch.
And I'm with that. Like I would. I'm not a strong man at all. I got strong friends, but I would punt Chucky like a motherfucker. I would fight Anthony Hopkins. I don't think Hannibal Lecter's scary. I just wouldn't. Don't have dinner with him. Right? That's how he fucks you up. Don't have dinner with Anthony Hopkins. That could be fucking no Ray Liotta. You know what I'm saying? Like,
don't have dinner with the Sawyers either.
I'm sorry, JB. This is what happens on Raw Night. I thought if Chuck was here, we'd have been done an hour ago.
Oh, whatever. It doesn't bother me.
It
did make me think about one of my first movies that I ever had a chance to rent. And, being a little bit younger and everything. But the first film that I actually got to rent myself when I went to where I grew up, I actually was like a block away from a Blockbuster. But me and Ravenshadow talked about this before.
The bike shop.
Was Pinocchio's Revenge was one of the first VHSs I grabbed.
Yes, Sam Evans.
Oh man, fucking killer fucking movie. I strongly recommend that one too.
We had fun.
Oh yeah, definitely did. That's for sure.
Ollie agrees.
Yes, he does.
We got Sean chiming in a little bit more here. Serbian film is what he was talking about.
No thanks.
That was so fucked up. He says he has all the Faces of Death movies, and he says he's only watched them once. Fortunately, the majority of it's all fake. He said they come out looking like Mr. Hinky.
Actually, if they went into raw sewage, they come out looking like Toxie.
That's fair. Talking about Toxie, they do have that remake coming up. Yeah, Elijah Wood cast in it. A Dinklage is casted in it.
I remember renting Toxic Avenger at the very first video store that we got back in the day. It was the first local video store. It wasn't a chain yet. It was like Auburn Video.
Does he sound like a tin can for you too?
Yeah. Unfortunately, once in a while when people use their phone, after so long, it kind of like messes up here and there. So,
am I in the Campbell soup can?
Yeah, you're in the soup can. You're in the soup can. But it's okay. It's okay. It is getting late anyway, so I guess we'll use this as our time to start wrapping up. Anyways, I do want to give a huge thank you, Michael Ravenshadow, and you guys can check him out over at Trick or Treat Radio. They have their Facebook group. I mean, you can go to their website. They got a YouTube page, I believe, as well. Their podcast is out on pretty much every platform. I personally listen to it on Stitcher, but if you listen to it on iTunes, you should go ahead and give them like a 5-star rating there. I know Johnny Wolfenstein really appreciates that.
Even on Spotify? They're on Spotify too?
I don't use Spotify.
I do.
I'm not a fucking hipster. Or
I'm not a
what do you call it, a millennial?
Hey, fuck you. It works with my Google Home.
So, you know what else works with my Google Home? My Google phone. I don't need to have that to work.
Well, I've got an iPhone, so you can kiss the fattest part of my ass, and luckily for you, my whole ass is fat.
Well, I'm sorry you have an iPhone.
I love my iPhone. I hope you're listening, Tim Apple.
He's not.
Look, I hope Tim Cook is listening because I need a new phone. I can't tweet all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on.
Fucking A. But no, dude, thank you so much, man. We greatly appreciate you having on here, man. Obviously, we once we get to episode 6 of season 5 of Tales from the Crypt, we'll be bringing you back on there with Tales from the podcast. You'll be getting another chance to chat with Uncle Ron over there with me, and it'll be another great discussion as always. Is there anything else that you want to go ahead and add to this before I go ahead and drop you down?
No, once again, check out Trick or Treat Radio, like JB said, 90th anniversary. We're a phantasmagorical spin kick in the heart of pop culture. Has a positive press, being compared to the Howard Stern Show meets the Nerdist, which I always liked. But yeah, man, we're a bunch of friends over 20 years, busting balls, talking smack, like everyone else. But any asshole can do a podcast, but we want to be your assholes. So great community, great Discord chat. and we've made friends in real life along the way. So check us out. And
You are my
don't
asshole.
Like us, thank you. And if you don't even like us, just subscribe and like. Just make a finger review. You don't gotta just so you don't have to listen to it. Just subscribe to it.
I'm gonna start using that line.
I'll be your huckleberry.
Yeah, be my huckleberry. Slide, man. You know what I mean? Well, check out Manscaped. Shave your balls.
Right, and use our code TFTP20, save 20% and get free shipping.
It's amazing.
Until next time, live fast, love hard, survive with your mask on, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop you below. Feel free to stay if you want to chat a little bit longer with us or whatever.
He likes
you
it
might
when you
want
go below.
to relog if that is what you do. Just sign off and come back onto it. Just so you sound better if that's what you decide you want to do. If not, all cool. I'll chat with you later. But I'm going to go ahead and drop you down. Thank you once again, buddy. Man, fun episode, dude. I did not expect for us to get on these the DC conversations that kind of came from it, to say the least.
Yeah,
But
there was a lot of coming.
oh yeah, definitely was. That's for sure, dude. And it was a fucking fun episode, though, man. Even though this was a movie not necessarily in your wheelhouse, this was definitely something.
It was
that
definitely in mine, though. I tell you, I mean, I just had to practice with Sebastian Sons of a Judas Goat, and I had to shave my balls with my Manscaped TP20. So
Right.
At Manscaped, turn the frogs gay.
Right. It was definitely a fun one, though. That's for sure. I really enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed everything that goes along with it. And I mean, having Ravenshadow on again, dude, he's always a fucking pleasure. I fucking love talking to this dude.
I felt like talking to Jesus.
It is kind of like talking to Jesus. The advice is about the same as you would get from the Bible. You don't really want to listen to it, but it's kind
Or
of
you
there.
get smacked by it with a priest when you're done taking his load.
I haven't been in that position yet. I don't know. Maybe
No,
I
I haven't been in that
friends long
position
enough.
for a while. I mean, what? I've said too much.
Right. Anyways, let's see. We got Sean here. Great show as always, brothers. Dude, Sean, you're always appreciated.
Thanks a lot
Thank you
for
so
watching,
much,
brother.
man. Ron,
Yeah.
I know we went ahead and promoted your movie and everything that you have going on. Is there anything else going on with you lately?
Hopefully this weekend, not this weekend, but the following weekend, Uncle Ron's Drive-In will premiere on Friday on YouTube, right before Tales from the Podcast. Ha ha ha! Look at that.
Ooh.
And we'll be launching UncleRon'sDriveIn.com. So there's that. And there is Uncle Ron's Drive-In merch. So we got that going for us too. If you are interested, will you stop telling me to breathe? My phone's like, look, you're cutting a promo here. Would you just fucking take a breath? And all that is, if you follow me on social media, all the social medias are I'm Uncle Ron. So, and I don't add people on Facebook unless I know them. That got a little out of control. I had someone from work try and add me that I don't exactly like. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna. No.
I had everybody, but if you don't like my page, I delete you.
Yeah, see, so I have to, and whenever my phone rings and it's JB, I'm like, oh, damn it. I guess I better answer it. But, so we got that going on, and please go pick up Who's Gonna Watch You Die. You get the actual film, and then you get my commentary. You find out how I made Jen Nangle cry.
Ooh, right.
I made Queen Malvolia cry.
Right. And I heard that next month there's going to be a third version of Who's Going to Watch You Die with commentary from JB, who had nothing to do with the movie itself, but he's just going to throw commentary out there.
There's also going to be a fourth version after that, where it's the porn parody of Who's Gonna Watch You Die, where instead of talking about how
that's just you jerking off for 20 minutes.
It is me jerking off for 20 minutes, but you know what? That's fine. And then don't forget to check out my OnlyFans, where it's pictures of OnlyFans.
Oscillating, non-oscillating.
Yes, exactly.
What about blowers? Do you have blowers on there too?
Yeah, I might actually put some hair dryers on there too.
Ooh, I'm a big fan of the box fan.
Well, that's like saying I love a woman with bush.
And hopefully she takes care of it with Manscaped.
Or Womanscaped.
Right.
Let's start that Womanscaped. Right. Started by a couple of dudes.
Oh, God, that's horrible.
Hey, lady, shave your bush. There you go.
So, anyways, oh my, I think we got Sean a little bit excited there.
Oh my.
So, anyways, before we go ahead and head out of here, I'm pretty sure that's all you had, right?
Yeah, tinyurl.com/watch you die. And you get the movie and
Right.
one with the commentary for $5.
Right.
Support indie film, bitches.
Right.
Gender neutral
scaped. I love it. And just so everybody knows, all those will be listed out in the show notes as well in the podcast form. And these are out in the comments as well. Not to mention that if you go and actually like the Tales from the Podcast page on Facebook, there are posts with links for all of these things as well. So please go check it out. Support us. We love you. We do. And if you go and check out Ron's OnlyFans, he'll love you as well.
I will. Long time.
Right. And obviously, as always, for our shows, we really thank you over at MANSCAPED for sponsoring us. Use our code TFTP20, save 20%, get free shipping. And also thank you to House of Mysterious Secrets. Go over to houseofmysteriousSecrets.com for all your horror merch. Use our discount code 4130, save 10% on some pretty awesome horror merchandise.
I do have one more thing.
Yeah, go
real
ahead.
quick. And this is mainly for Cooper, who's probably not watching.
He'll watch the rewatch.
Nut.
Cooper would. And check us out next week. We are going to have the guys from Wash This Garden with Blood. We're going to be showing off one of their new songs, and we are going to be talking about the episode King of the Road, starring Brad Pitt.
When he
and
didn't
we were seeing
shower.
him in a Tales from the Crypt episode.
Yeah, and then I'll go watch Inglourious Bastards because I want my scalps.
Right. So, anyways, man, with that being said, the crypt is closed.